welcome back into another video in row scale B&LC Horsethief route. And then we just absolutely got a train using for the B&LC SD40 locomotive, followed by the MKT SD40, GP30, and another SD40, and we got ourselves for the GE U30C. That sounds pretty terrible, but itself, according like those Mexicans are just gonna be viewing like this thing. This is the U30C, made by General Electric, and it sounds like pretty thrashing as well. And we got some improvements like to do so. I have eventually reducing for many more of these cars, but looks like and some other kinds of things are just missing around according to the rail cars. And we got the caboose from all over to do this as well. And I'm pretty sure the train is ready to go, and especially there must be some sort of what is crazy things. Something is gonna be going on the chimney from over here. So let's be prepared, and we're gonna be trying to start all the way to do this way. We're starting in the beacons, and the entire lights have just already turned on. So we're gonna be moving a little bit further, and let's just get on to do this as well. And hit the bells, ready, and we're gonna be ready to do this. But once the player has left, it's time to give ourselves a go. That sounds like Metro locomotive. That sounds like a Metro locomotive or Metro K5, like this thing, like the train horns or something. Well, now to take a little bit departure as well, and it's time to go. I got a little bit amount of cars left instead of spawning for all 30 cars. But instead of, oh dear, in case there was no things, I'm probably not sure. We're not gonna be going for the left side of the rails, but we're not gonna be going for just gonna be trying to take it a little bit right. So we're now taking the locomotive as to back up. And probably this is not going to be such as a little bit worth it as well. And there is the interlocking, and right behind of the B&LC Summit Yard. So we're here back again in the B&LC Summit Yard, but the train is now going backwards as well. We're now going to be going for a little bit itself for a little bit amount of throttle. And the train will now gonna be continuing to roll, but it's actually gonna be trying to take a little bit of slow, really slowness as well. And the bad news is, it looks like we got so much cars to do so, because that will causing it extremely slow. Instead of some sort of a box cars or many more like instead. We got no tanks, and it was absolutely pretty annoying, with just a little bit to come. And once the train has already moving back, it's time that we're gonna be headed all the way into Garibaldi Yard. I think the Garibaldi Yard. And Garibaldi Yard is going to be going to its next stop, and we're ready for it. So we're going to be trying to hear this. And the train is now moving a little bit slowly, because I just took a little bit back as well, that it just pretty heard that locomotive from behind. And it sounds like probably, oh dear, that sounds pretty ridiculously like that sounds like coming off the chimney. as the Cummins are just thrashing a little bit up here. Right behind of that, the 5th locomotive is the U30C. That sounds like inefficient. But it looks like the cars and ourselves are just going to be trying to keep on moving. So, the locomotives are just going to be going all the way to 50% per throttle. And the lag produces. And I'm not going to be trying to get ourselves. Let's just completely try to turn the graphics down. But it looks like the locomotive from over here isn't going to be going to do like this as well. So we're coming a little bit faster. As we're going to be reaching up, accelerates all the way to 100% per throttle. And it's going to be coming a little bit as well. And it's going to be coming a little bit that's really fast. I really think that sounds like a runaway train. And is this really fast? Wait, that sounds like the F40PH is passing by. Because of this sounds like a crazy thing as well. So, we're going to be dropped down to... I don't really think so. Look how the train it is. It's pretty long. Pretty ridiculously long. And it's going to be headed all the way up here. Just like the 5 locomotives are just going to be going all the way up here. So, followed by the 5 locomotives are hauling up some of the over-freighted cars. There's going to be a lot of them. So, it's going to be waiting for a little bit of a while. And it's gonna be pretty long to do this. So it's still gonna be going all the way, headed all the way up here. Alright, the locomotive is all the way up here. And I can see another railroad crossing from over here. The train is gonna be coming right throughout here from the railroad crossing. And once the train is gonna be hit all the way to the top, but looks like the train is going to be coming a little bit for one thing. The train is now on the right side of the rails. But looks like the train is going to be headed up here. The train has started to climb uphill. And well, it's going to be going all the way uphill for just a little bit right now. And it's going to be going to get on the top as well. We'll now try to hit the bells, turned off. And we got another railroad crossing, I guess. So, I'll be here on to the middle as well. And I was trying to be hiding for somewhere else. So, I'll be seeing for such as one locomotive. And I just completely spotted on the highway. And looks like we're gonna be headed out for the railroad crossings. That will hear the train for a little bit close. And once the train is gonna be really close, when that exactly how the railroad crossings is going to be activated in a moment right there on time as well. I hear the locomotive is gonna be sweeping up into the mountains as well. And the railroad crossings are just going to be activating a little bit in one moment. And there it is. But this is why the 1980s. I think this is stepping back to 1980s or something. Oh dear. This isn't going to be going for just a little bit as well. Still a little bit closing in. Or a little bit as well. This is absolutely for some sort of a rail fanning reference in the 1980s. Wait, there's the caboose. And it goes off, out of sight. And now it continues to roll about here. And what is actually headed? Historic Laquette Bridge. We're gonna be trying to film out this. And it should be a little bit possible that we're going to be seeing around this for its very first time. But not getting back to it is only one thing. So I'll be seeing for this locomotive for running past by for just a little bit for first time. So there must be a locomotive bridge like this one. So it's gonna be probably like over here. Just like in the films, that locomotives are just gonna be running past by. So the locomotives are just gonna be going a little bit as really further as well. So a lot of things are just gonna be going a little bit higher, just far ahead. And so the locomotives are just about to slow down a little bit pretty earlier, and then what again to do this as well. Well, now exactly, and I really think I just follow the smoke. Oh my god, looks like it's gonna be for its wrong way to do this, but I'm actually gonna be going for reverse. And now we just gonna be completely going all the way from its top. But instead of that, I just doing this, or probably the train is gonna be slowing down all the way up here in the very moment for just one time. And it's gonna be not able to handle, we're just going all the way up into the top. But eventually, the 5 locomotives will slightly not gonna be making it for its on-time schedule. So, I'm pretty very sure that we're gonna be still going up into the top, and it's still not gonna be really as possible to do this. I cannot believe it, and this is absolutely another part of the row scale videos. So it's still gonna be climbing up into the hill, but the locomotive itself is still gonna be catching up to do this. We turn on the E light because we, just in case, we almost forgot to turn on. So it's very moment, like we're gonna be going up into this one thing ourselves. And probably that must be the railroad crossing. And I should be able to get a little bit past ahead. And it's gonna be a little bit slowing itself, and will not think, am I gonna be frozen for myself for just a little bit. The train has already a crossing all the way up into the mountains. There is another bridge. That must be a highway, road, and the rails we got from over here. And probably the video might gonna be in somewhere on time soon. That we're gonna be a crossing for those 3 railroad crossings for just as well. In case everything wasn't gonna be probably safe at all times, but looks like the train is gonna be a crossing for all stations at a little bit as once. So the train is gonna be already making it through, but for sometimes it's gonna be hauling through, and the train won't be able to get slowing down for just a little bit as much, followed by the NKT and some locomotives such as the Billington Northerns. So looks like this isn't gonna be going for around here. So this isn't gonna be going for around here for the Summit Yard, and I cannot believe this isn't gonna be sound as a little bit much as horns as we're gonna be doing for a little bit. And the pass of the station, that wasn't gonna be probably to do this. The train is about to slow down. It sounds pretty loud. Right over here. There's the Caterbeams. And there should be a lot more. And I cannot believe that does not gonna be doing for such as the same as the time. We still headed our way to get up here as really fast as possible and not divided by the two rails. It should be able to lead all the way to the homeless things as well. I cannot believe it. It was actually leading into somewhere all the way to the beach, or such as the big lake as well. So we're almost here, that the locomotives are just going to be preparing to slow down. And will not think this is going to be about it. And looks like I'm probably should be able to stop right here onto this side. Let's go for the track number 1 or track number 2. This is the Garibaldi yard. This is the B&LC Garibaldi yard, and it's gonna be making it on time well as possible. So we'll now be able to decelerate the locomotive for its really first time. So I cannot believe the locomotive is gonna be climbed here so much faster, and that is gonna be pretty to the end of this video. So the train is now decelerating. And now looks like the throttle is going to be reducing itself for speed. And will not possibly be guess. We're holding up to 69% per throttle. It looks like the entire train is absolutely pretty such as big as well. We're now reducing a little bit for much more speed. As we came into a halt with this, absolutely looked like this. So, in terms of about for many more of those locomotives, not even exactly how new, that something wasn't going to be allowed to review. And so we're headed out here for its full stop, and that is it. So it was just like probably it was, because I thankfully that is gotta be the end of this video for those like these things as clean as well. So if you enjoyed about for this video, or you haven't enjoyed for like this thing, because please sure to leave a like and subscribe and click that bell, and the game link is in description down below, so you'll be playing now for free as well, because that was actually going to be going for a little bit priced, but whatever, that is going to be to do so as well. Thanks so much for watching in for this row scale video, and this is going to be Tebo Concept is going to be signing off. But probably for some sort of an NKT like these things will look like for some sort of for pre-South Asians like that. So because therefore I'll be talking to you well fanners, and I'll see you down the line such as well.